Good morning, Highland. It is good to be with you today. It is kind of a cloudy morning here on my front porch, and I have coffee. I've been without coffee for several days. I had run out of coffee creamer, and so it's a really good day because I have my coffee again. And I just have a few really disparate thoughts to share with you this morning. First, you have probably noticed that you have not seen me in a lot of our live feeds for worship. And I'm realizing that I'm not sure I've ever talked about that in a video. And so I wanted to just share a little bit about that. We, of course, with Tyler's health, we've been super isolated. We're trying to keep him safe as much as we can because his immunity is compromised. And so it means we're just spending a lot of time at home, and we've really ratcheted back everywhere we go. So if it's not a click list or a drive-through, I think I can count on one hand the number of places we've been inside, and most of those have been doctor's offices in the past couple of weeks. It's a long story, but I was working on a house project and ended up with a concussion, and I'm okay. I'm gonna do some vision therapy, have some headaches, but I'm getting better. So you could pray for that, but I'm okay. So we really haven't been going anywhere. And on Sunday, I had the experience that I think many of our staff have had long before now, of being in our sanctuary, with just a few of us for the call Sunday. And it was when I decided I couldn't miss because it was historic and I needed to be there to be part of that moment for myself and for our team. And I'm so glad I chose to do that. And I just have been reflecting on that experience. And so as I was sitting there, oh, my camera just fell. As I was sitting there, I was watching, of course, for the Spirit to show up, and watching for, clarity and confidence and this, kind of compelling vision for Highland's future to appear. And we sat on those hard wooden pews. You remember how hard they are, right? Sat on those hard wooden pews for the first time in months. And the experience of being in the sanctuary, you all remember that the hymn that played was "Great is Thy Faithfulness." And that is such a powerful hymn. It's one of my favorite things to hear in Highland Sanctuary. In fact, I have this still frame memory that I often go back to with that hymn of our beloved Davina Park, who, if you have ever watched her sing "Great is Thy Faithfulness" in the pew from the chancel, it is just, it is from the depths of her core, and she sings it with gusto, and it just is so incredibly moving. And so that hymn for me in our space is really important. But on Sunday, I was wearing my mask and sitting in a pew far away from other people. And thanks to the beauty of technology, we were listening to ourselves having sung "Great is Thy Faithfulness." I don't know when. You heard it at home. That's us singing. But in the pew, we weren't singing, and we were listening. And I was moving my lips to the words, not speaking them, not singing them, but moving my lips to the words behind my mask. And it was this strange and yet beautiful and holy moment to experience that hymn in that way, in that space. I can't really explain it, but it was this combination of the present and the past and hope and grief all put together, particularly in the middle of a call weekend. So it was a moment, and but since then I've been reflecting on how grateful I am that we as human beings have the ability to hold both hope and grief at the same time in tension, that we can hold those carefully, and that we are people of complicated emotions, and that we can hold those things in tension, and that's okay. I also wish I could share with you, like, paint the picture for you of the moment when the sound went out and Walter rushed in to save the day, and all of us reading your social media commentary as that was happening, and the laughter and the joy and the community that we have built. It was just this amazing gift, and it gave me pause, because it was one of those moments where we're together but apart because of the work that we have done to be in relationship over all of these years together. So it wasn't a perfect day, it was a messy day, but it was a beautiful day, and I'm just so grateful to have been a part of that. And also, just to name, though, that whenever we are back in the pew, and I don't know when that will be, but whenever we are, expect those tensions to be very real and very present between hope and grief, and joy and sadness. So the second thing that I have been thinking about a lot lately, I don't know if y'all know this, but children's ministry in the middle of a pandemic is really hard. And it's particularly hard too if you need to be isolated from everyone, but even more so because of health. And so one of the things that we're working on, Linda and I, is something called Compassion Camp. And given all that is happening in our city and in our country, and really around the world, it can't be better times, a better thing to think about with our children. And one of the things, I pulled it out to bring it and read to you. I also apologize because the recycling truck is coming. When we're talking about compassion in our camp, which will have like a screen-free track, but then also you can do some videos if you want. Compassion, the definition of it is, I see your hurt, I feel your hurt with you, and I help ease your hurt. Isn't that beautiful? The definition of compassion is, I see your hurt, I feel your hurt with you, which is empathy, and I help ease your hurt. Let the recycling truck go by. Hang on. They're probably wondering, what are you doing? Okay, one more, hang on. Okay, so compassion. I see your hurt, I feel your hurt with you, and I help ease your hurt. I just think that's so beautiful, and it's a really, really simple way to help our children understand what we're trying to do as people who wrestle with when to speak and how to speak, and when to listen and how to listen. But the core of that is compassion and seeing hurt and feeling hurt with people who have been wounded by racism for the past 400 years and the systemic oppression in our world, and then trying to find ways to help ease that hurt. It's just beautiful. So I share that with you today too. The last thing I want to share with you in that vein is a resource. And if you don't know about this resource, you need to. This resource is called Holy Troublemakers and Unconventional Saints. And I think it's mirroring here, or it's not mirroring here. It's by Deneen Akers. And it's pretty new. It's just come out in the past year or two. And she has collected, I'm looking at it now so I can read you some of the names, both current and past people who are holy troublemakers. And each person has kind of a biography, 3 or 4 pages, about their life. And it is a mix of people of all faiths, it's everybody. It's amazing. So I'm gonna read you some names. Some you'll recognize, some you might not. Bayard Rustin, Daniel Ruttenberg, Francis of Assisi, Fred Rogers, Jackie Lewis at Middle Church, Mary Oliver, Rumi, Will Gaffney, Wangari Maathai. They're amazing people in this book. And so, in fact, as I was reading through it, this was a funny moment this morning, as I was pulling this off the shelf, I just happened to realize that at the end there's a glossary. And I need you to know that one of the glossary terms is Walkman. Like the old little cassette player Walkman with headphones. And I realized we have reached that point in life where something I had as a child is in a glossary. So if you don't know about this resource, please, 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 hang on one second, Liza. You have been painting. I see that.
I can't go back inside when it's dripping.
Did something spill?
No.
What's dripping? On you? Okay, well, we will go inside and clean it up in just a second.
My old, very beautiful blanket.
It got on your blanket. You know what? The good thing about that paint is that it's washable paint, and so it will come out of your blanket, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I just don't want to get it on your carpet.
It'll be okay. We'll get it off if it does get on our carpet, okay?
You mean your carpet?
Well, it's our carpet. It's our family's carpet.
Yeah.
Okay? So, if you don't know this, you can. If you don't know this resource, pick it up, purchase it. It's great for your kids. It's educational even for adults. And I am learning from it too. So, friends, I hope that you are well. I hope that you are caring for your spirit and your soul. I hope that you're learning and finding ways to be engaged and just to name, as one who is at home struggling with the tension of how active to be and also holding that intention with caring for your family, that's a really hard place, and I just want to name it, and only we can figure out what is best for us, and it's just really difficult. So I'm with you. If you need to talk through that, I'm happy to talk through that with you at any point, because it's hard and there aren't easy answers. So I'm going to close with this. One of the people in this book is Mary Oliver, and in here is her, let me find it, her famous poem, The Summer Day. And it is a summer day, and I also think in light of all that we're experiencing in 2020, the question at the end of this famous poem, you can reflect on it differently. So I wonder if you might hear it differently today. The summer day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down in the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Friends, as you move through your day today, may God be with you.